Okay. Hello, everyone. We're here today to do the podcast. Let's discuss it. I guess I got to give it a few seconds to pop up. I don't see it. Did it come up on yours yet?
Right now. See.
Okay, I don't know if it's up here or not.
Yeah, it just came up.
Oh, it did. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So, welcome to Tantalus Oracle. Me and All in the Cards is here today to discuss relationships, but it's not going to be the regular conversation about relationships. It's going to be more on, are you ready for relationships and what do you need to do before you go into um, a relationship. So what I'm going to do first is get it. It's a website you can go to, Psychology Today, and I'm gonna put that link in here where you can go on
Going in
and
and out.
it is.
Mm-hmm. A little bit. I can hear you now, though.
Oh, okay, maybe because I clicked over. So where you can go on and get your relationship style of how you function in relationships, your attachment style. So like I said, we're going to be discussing relationships, and um, I don't know what points you're going to make, but mine is you have to understand yourself before you begin to understand another person. So before you get into relationships, it's important for you to understand about who you are and what you need and what you don't need in relationships. And a part of that is going back to doing your shadow work. And I think that's one of the main things that people need to do, and what especially All in the Cards, she does that all the time. Shadow work videos about what we need to do in order to improve ourselves, and in improving ourselves, we can then understand others. And so,
Yes.
um, I'm going to hit a few points, and then I'm gonna let you talk, and then I'll come back and finish up some other things. So before we begin, like I said, this is going to be about relating to shadow work, because we already did the previous podcast on shadow work, communication, and emotional maturity. So the first benefit of doing shadow work as it relates to relationships is it improves your self-esteem. You feel like a whole person, having a holistic sense of self, strengthen relationship with others, learning healthy coping mechanisms and how to set boundaries, ability to confront regrets and stop negative self-talk. So those are the five things that doing shadow work can help you in relationships, and not just personal, intimate relationships, but relationships with anybody. Okay. And a little quote that they had on that website was, recognizing your shadow self is about becoming a whole person. So, hey, Miss T. So, those are the benefits of doing shadow work as it relates to your relationships. So you can understand yourself and then understanding others as well. So I'm gonna let Case Wynn come up here and say a few things before I go any further.
Okay, yeah. That's what all I mean, I pretty much have anything that was formal in reference of this, right? As I have told my good sis Tantalus, I could speak towards, having and forming relationships in reference of, knowing thyself, right? So, of course, even in being in, love relationships, but not just love relationships, but relationships with your friends, relationships with your family, right? And so, how do you cultivate those relationships? And when you haven't own work, right? It can make things a little complex in reference of how you deal with relationships. The main thing that I would say is what I've learned in reference of cultivating and really working on relationships. First, start with your family, right? Your mother, your father. Those are some things that a lot of people that have shadow issues, have traumatic issues, have bloodline issues, have, right? Traumatic mother and father, it starts from there, right? And so it goes further on, right? The relationships that you have with your mother, your father, and their relationship they've had with their mother and their father, and so forth and so on. That is the prime key to how you've been able to see the blueprint of creating a good relationship, right? And in most cases, that's been the piece that's been broken, right? So when that piece is broken, that's when you know broken relationship, whether that's broken friendships, broken love relationships, and especially not mending family differences and family situations, right? And so that'll mold you in reference of how your behavior is with relationships. I can speak from right. And so, with my life, not having, you know, a lot of time when I was younger with my mom till, I got up to some age, because she was living her life. And then my dad, he moved from where I was at in North Carolina to a whole different state. So I didn't really have him. So that in a child's mind sits with you in reference of abandonment issues, in reference of neglect issues that you don't pinpoint as a child until you sit with yourself and realize, as I did, that those were the situations that molded me into the relationships and the people I chose to be into my life, because I had to also learn that helped me cultivate who I am today, right? And how I look at having relationships and how I look at how, because that's where it all stems from. A relationship is in reference of love. That's the core factor of a relationship. And so I had to learn that. I went through those experiences. I can tell whoever, because I'm using my life as an example. That's the best way to learn, is from using your own circumstances. Not everybody's going to be able to have a great relationship with your mother or have a great relationship with your father. You know what I mean? Or even if they weren't even in, but it's mean that you can't learn from that experience, because maybe that was what you were supposed to, not maybe, I know if you went through that, it's for a reason. And that was to show you probably how to love, you see? And so if you don't understand that with going within and doing shadow work, then you won't understand how to really tap in with yourself and learn about unconditional love, especially when this is going to be a healing process. It's going to take a lot of time, and you're going to have to teach yourself, most of you, unless you have that guidance, right? And that guidance can come from multiple different aspects of things. It can come from other people, it could come from, other family members. It could also come, if you by yourself, from your ancestors, from the Most High, right? Because they always with you. But main aspect of things is you have to really face it and realize where the ground piece of it is that has you in this questionable place about relationship.
Breaking up. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay. And I said, and I'll probably throw it back to you, because I don't want to go on and on, because you know me, I can keep going, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to say that from the beginning, that's
Mm-hmm.
my aspect of learning how to really, really know if you're ready to be in a relationship or not. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you haven't healed from past situations that really, really mold your mind towards how to really love somebody and be in a relationship, how can it be you if you don't know thyself, how you feel like you're gonna be able to get to know someone else? So
Yeah. Right.
the thing of it is, that's what goes back to that statement. I know it's cliche, hurt people, but if you've been hurt, you're gonna bleed on the next person until you fix those wounds. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people that are in relationships have been in relationship after relationship after relationship, and they haven't even healed themselves from the first relationship, which was that inner child. Wasn't even
Mm-hmm.
the person that you was with. It's from when you was a child. And that's
Yeah.
the main key, you know? So that's what I would have to say. There go my ancestors right there. Look, flying beside me. There go a butterfly. I see a white butterfly. You can't tell me my ancestors. They say hello. Okay. But I'm sitting outside, family. Sorry, but I seen that white little butterfly fly past me. I'm like, yes, they're gonna answer the saying hello. But same thing about my own experiences and where I had to go back and deep dive from that young girl that felt, I mean, I had love. Don't get me wrong. I had my grandma and my granddaddy. You know what I'm saying? Because my parents was young and out them from that. We have our relationships, mended and so forth. But I knew to do that. And but some people have to start with that because some people don't even look.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had to heal, I had to, because that relationship didn't go well. So I got to heal that. But they don't even think about, well, why didn't it work? Don't point the
Mm-hmm.
finger at that other person, and sit with thyself and see what your issues are. Because I guarantee if you go to that partner gonna say something that it was you. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
you.
Oh, it's
You
a
know what I'm
snake.
saying? So it, it's a what?
A snake. I see it outside my window. A black one.
Oh, wow. Oh my.
I'm glad I'm not sitting outside.
I don't know what that represents. I know that's right. Exactly. I'm glad you're not
Can't catch
outside.
me
I don't
over.
see none of them. Now you got me. Look, you got me looking around now. But yeah, so
Yeah, I ain't mean to
I
interrupt you.
oh no, but family,
Okay. Yeah, Miss T.
okay, family. Can you hear me?
I hear you now.
Okay, yeah, my earpiece went out. Yeah, what's going on with these gadgets? I think
Miss
the
T
sun.
said.
I'm sitting out in the sun trying to get me a sun.
Mm,
Just
yeah, but yeah, that's what it is. He popped out of
oh
nowhere.
yeah, I
I'm
see
still
the
looking. He's looking around. He's looking nowhere at me.
yeah. Look, she said the demons is out. Oh, Shay, the demons
They're
is
out.
out here. I'm telling you the truth. Yeah, they are.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
So
so
going back to what you were saying.
that's that snake you seen, sis.
Hmm.
You better be careful.
Yeah, I know.
But
They
yeah,
always
no
got.
better in this. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I hear you better.
Okay, good, good. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I mean, and so I wanted to just start when you started talking about, the name of this is Are You Really Ready for a Relationship? I think I'm gonna just start with that piece first in reference of, the main thing. If anybody listens to this, please start with your inner child. You know, how was your past? How was your childhood? Right? Did you see people truly love? Did you have a 2-parent home or a 1-parent home, or did you have no parents? You know what I'm saying? Really think about that, and then once you tackle the inner child, then I feel like you'll be, more prepared or more ready to move forward in reference of a full-blown relationship. Now, I'm not saying everybody's going to do that, because everybody's not going to do that. But on my journey, I know that that's piece I had to care of before being able to really pick the person for me, right? So that's what I start with first. And I pick it back to you, sis.
But you're right. So I feel the same way. Like I
post the comments on mine. I don't know, cause I mean, I see the comments, but you know how when you on your phone, you limited. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But going back to what you're saying, I can say that based on my past and right now, that, and like I said this before, the way I am now and the way that I view relationship now is different than what I viewed it back in my younger days, or even 10 years ago, because since I have been working on myself, I recognize a lot of things, and a lot of times we don't understand, and we don't know that things that we've dealt with in our childhood often reflects on how we operate in our relationships. And it doesn't even have to be like, well, I had a good childhood and I didn't have to, but it doesn't mean that it has to be a bad childhood. It could just be, you remember, like we were talking on your Patreon about having responsibilities as a child can make you be more controlled in your adult life.
Right.
Then there's nothing wrong with being under control and making sure things are straight. But then when you put that control on another person, then you're trying to control that person to make them line up to where you are comfortable, and you're making the other person uncomfortable. So like I said, there's things that you have to recognize within yourself, and there's things I had to recognize within myself, my choices. Back then I'm just looking at the outside. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
So my thing was, okay, dark skin, dreads, tattoo.
Right.
That's what I was looking for, and it wasn't nothing about the person, like their personality, their characteristics, their qualities that was beneficial for me. But that's what I'm just looking at, the outside.
Yeah.
And so once I was going on these different journeys, and that's why I did that deck that I had, that hidden emotions deck, because in that deck I got talking about daddy issues, mother issues, and all of those things, because those are things that people are experiencing in relationship within themselves and other people that they don't even realize that they're doing. And it's based on their childhood and their shadow. And they don't even realize that. Hey, Angel.
Hey, Angel.
And so I wrote down some things that for me, now this don't apply to everybody, but this is for me, about like what I'm thinking about when I get into a relationship. And the first thing is communication. Can we communicate? Am I able to talk to you? Are you able to talk to me? And then emotional maturity, which those communication and emotional maturity, we already did a podcast on those, and we were saying how those are important when you're doing your shadow work. So emotional maturity, do I understand why I feel the way I feel, and can I express how I feel and understand where those feelings are coming from? Understanding, being clear on what I want. So what do I want out of the relationship that I'm going into? And on top of that, we all have what we want, but then I have my needs versus my wants, because we all, I want this person to be this way and that way. And that may be what you want, and that's nothing wrong with that. But is that what you need? So you have somebody you may get what you want, but that's not what you need. So I want somebody that's going to be able to give me the support that I need, the love that I need, the respect, and all of those things that I need, not all those things that I want, because I may not even recognize what I need at that moment because I'm focused on what I want. And compromise. Am I able to compromise? Is that person able to compromise with me? This reminds me of this movie I was watching. This older couple, they was ready to retire. The lady got pregnant. The guy was like, no. Well, they were married. He was like, no, I don't want the baby having an abortion and all of that. And so she ended up having the baby. She said, nothing's going to change in our relationship with the baby. We're going to adjust. You know, you can still get what you want. So the baby come, and she was hoping that the husband, changed his mind once that baby get here. He was like, I told you I still wanted this. And I said that we can go ahead with the baby because that's what you wanted, but I didn't want it to change what I wanted for myself, for my life, you know. And so they end up separating. So you have to understand what you're willing to compromise on and what you're not willing to compromise on. Because if you're going to the left and this person is going to the right, and even if you compromise or don't compromise, are you going to be able to come back together? Are you going to be in alignment? So you have to recognize what you want and what you're willing to compromise on for your relationship and for yourself. And then the love and finances. Some people marry people for love and getting in relationships for love, and some people getting in relationships for money. So which one are you? Which one is important to you? Do you want somebody that gonna take care of you and you don't care about that love like that? Or you want somebody that's going to love you and take care of you, or you just want the love. You don't care too much about the money because you got your own. So that's got to consider that, creating the boundaries that you need. And when you create the boundaries, make sure you stand on the boundaries. You can't let people overstep you. So, and the last one is the inner child issues affecting your love choices and decisions, what we just talked about, because sometimes they can be healthy and sometimes they can be toxic. So if you work on yourself and you understand all of those things about yourself, and then you can recognize, are you ready or are you not ready for a relationship?
Yeah. I love the way, I like all of those because they all ring true, you know? Um, I definitely love the finance one, right? Because a lot of women do that, right? Because of stability, right? And stability is one thing, but if that person, like Miss T was saying, first of all, you need to be really, really looking at, you need to be really looking at this person and who this person is. Who is this person? Like, what is in their bloodline? You know what I'm saying? Like now that, and people don't even realize that because it goes back. I can use myself as an example in reference to my mother. My mother, it was in her, she had the sickle cell trait and her ex had a sickle cell trait. She didn't even, I don't think they realized that when they came together, they had my little sister and she got full-blown sickle cell. You see? So even not just in reference of you meeting somebody and you, like you said, just for their looks, for their outer appearance and all this kind of stuff, you need to know about this person's bloodline. What afflictions, what type of health concerns do they have in that family? You know what I'm saying? And because it can affect a whole life that you guys are trying to bring into this world, you know. And so that's another big thing. People don't even realize it, but people don't think about that. They do just like how you said, and I'm guilty of doing that before too, except for I wasn't worried about dreads, dark skin. I was worried about money. Okay. So I was always cultivating to the ones that was in the streets. It ain't had no business doing that. You know what I'm saying? But at a young age, because I wanted to be independent early, right? And I didn't have that guidance to say, you don't need to be worried about, being with this guy because he got this money, he got this car, he got this. No, you need to look at who he truly is. But of course, as teen in young age, you don't think about those type of things.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that was a good one. That was a good point too. Um, but the main piece that I'm gonna keep pushing in reference are you truly ready for a relationship is your mental health, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because all of it goes back to that. Are you truly mentally stable in reference of having and being able to control yourself, not only be able to understand what a true relationship is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of that we talked about was because of our mental health, if you really think about it. The thing that I'm saying in reference of that is because we mentally hadn't been able to wrap our mind around even thinking about looking at someone's bloodline. When is that person's birthday? What zodiac sign is this person? Does this person really want what I value in life? We wasn't even there mentally. You see what I'm saying? Mature wise, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so that definitely plays a part in reference of, are you truly really ready for a relationship? It kind of goes back to the puppy love thing where,
Mm-hmm.
you start having a, sweetheart. You feel like you're supposed to be with this person for the rest of your life, but you two may not even really know each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot in reference of, are you truly ready for a relationship? I wish, like, yeah, I do too. I wish I would have been taught in my younger days. But they, like they say, babies and fools, right? But
Mm-hmm.
God take care of us and knew who we were already. And sometimes it takes us going through those things to bring us where we are today. And so I feel like everything that I went through with all the different relationships and different, things that I've learned on my path of love, I'm
Mm-hmm.
right where I'm supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say I don't regret it. I'm going to say I look at it as it was a learning tool for me to be in the place that I am today. Yes, of course, I could be in a relationship if I wanted to right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I know if I chose to be in a relationship with the guys that been coming towards me, those people don't align with me and where I am on my journey in life now. So it
Mm-hmm.
makes no sense to put myself in that type of predicament when I already know, that I'm looking for a specific person. Plus, I feel like in some cases, some of us aren't really ready for relationships because we truly don't even know who we want to be with in the first place because we don't even know ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you choose somebody and you haven't even chose yourself? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that
So,
people do that because they don't want to be by themselves. Like you said
yeah,
the other day, we have to go into the dark, and people don't want to be in that dark by themselves. They scared to be by themselves to see that.
I say, I
So,
say,
and then also it makes it seem like it's not them, it's somebody else.
yes,
I can get somebody, so it
absolutely.
ain't me.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. Yeah. And and that's another thing. We as a people, I'm not even going to say as like it's across all cultures, right?
Mhm.
That when it comes to breakups and situations with others that are you're in a relationship with, people blame the other person, but the things that they don't realize is that, listen, you chose that person.
Mhm.
You chose that person to be in your energy, to be in your space. You chose that person to lay down with, to have a baby with. You chose that person. It is free will. God gave us free will. Now,
Mhm.
that free will is just like the wheel of fortune. It can either turn in your favor or it can turn the other way, but it's
Mhm.
based off of your behavior. And people need to understand that. I had to learn that myself because I used to be a blamer. You know what I'm saying? I used to
Mhm.
blame everybody, but that's a part of that shadow work. And I was like, wait a minute. I had to sit with myself and say, wait a minute, I keep blaming others, but the common denominator is myself in all of the situations. And if we don't look at it like that, then you'll continue into that cycle where you keep blaming others, but you're the common denominator out of all of those abusive people, out of all of those people that neglect you, out of all of those people who can't communicate right, out of all the people that you claim this, and that over and over and over at the relationship and relationship and relationship. But when are you going to stop it and really work on you? And so that's when people need to realize that maybe I'm not ready for a relationship. That should be a light bulb in your head, right? Because it was surely a light bulb to me. And it wasn't easy and it didn't feel good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But blame yourself. You blame yourself. And I bet you when you sit with yourself and you really realize that, wait a minute, I am the problem in this situation. I feel like, maybe the next time I better be a little bit mindful in reference of who I allow in my energy space. And then things will be a lot easier, a lot better for you because you're taking a different route, a different road, but you can't stay on that same road and think you're going to get different results. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I've learned that over the years, and that's why I'm single by myself, because even within the last 2 months, I've had one of my ex come back towards me. I have been saying no, 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 no. I have been in abstinence for years. Okay. And so I've had to choose that. Okay. Because that lust, yeah, that's Aquarius, right? That we know based off of the zodiacs, right? But that's also my south node. Okay. So it's still in my chart. Like I always tell you guys, we are all the signs. Okay. We've all had our hold'em days. Okay. I had a girl come on my stuff and she talked about that. I think it was Tiff or a couple of other people done said that too. Listen. We've all been there because lust is a part of this flesh. You understand? And it's a hard fight. It's a hard fight. But the choices in reference of knowing who you are and knowing that you do have that and that you have to work on yourself and stop it. Like I had to just stop. You know what I'm saying? And it's been a journey, but everybody is not going to be that disciplined as well, right?
Yeah.
We would be fools to think that everybody would be able to be that disciplined because they're not. You know what I'm saying? But if they only knew the blessings that come from just you being abstinence and fighting that lust that makes you pick those wrong partners, you'll start looking at things a little different as well. So it's the little things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot, man, but it's real. And I can speak from experience, So yeah, sis, that's what I would say to that,
Yeah. Because like I say, the same thing like you were saying, people need to look at themselves. For instance, I'm like, oh, okay, I've been dealing with this person, and everybody I deal with, they keep taking me through these same problems. I'm like, wait a minute. Why are you allowing the same problems? And why do you keep having the same problem? You could be having the same problem because how you feel about yourself. You don't have no boundaries. You don't know how to make the correct choices. You don't know what you need or what you want. So you have to reflect on yourself, like why you keep getting the same person in a different body. And I look at it like, okay, that was a lesson. You ain't learned that yet. Okay, you gonna keep repeating this lesson because you haven't learned to love yourself. You haven't learned to create boundaries. You haven't learned to speak up for you. Whatever the lesson is, what you keep dealing with in these relationships, I'm talking about me. So whatever I keep dealing with in the relationship is because I haven't learned my lesson on why I keep making those choices. And I need to heal whatever that is that makes me keep making these choices. But on the flip side, if you already in a relationship and
Yeah.
you grow out of that, and then you come
Mhm.
out of alignment because you said, why I chose that person? Because
Mhm.
you chose that person because you was in that same energy at that time with that person. And once you grow out of certain things and that person is no longer in alignment with you, and so now if you've healed yourself, you don't even see that person, you don't even relate to that person
Yeah.
at all on that level anymore. Because I
Yeah.
saw something the other day, and it's like when you was with somebody, you see that person all the time, and then when you stop dealing with that person, you don't even run across that person anymore. You can live in on the same street in the same town, you will never see that person. That's because you're not in the same space as them no more.
That's
Then
right.
you grew out of that.
That's
So
right.
a lot of times we have to look at ourselves instead of focusing outward. And then sometimes people come to us because they need what we got. They need
Exactly.
that energy that you have. So
Correct.
yeah.
Now
So
that, sis, is
mhm,
exactly right. Yeah.
so they come to you because of something. Because sometimes people, well, you attract what you are, not necessarily.
Mhm.
You can, but that's not. Somebody may see your light. Somebody may see your darkness. Just like when people hang out together, um, they're going to hang out with somebody either that they want to be like or they already are like. And that's the
Yeah.
same thing. You attract somebody who you want that thing that they got, or you just like them. So it can be either way. Because just like we're like, well, you get with somebody and sometimes that person show you something, reflects something of yourself back to you. And you think it's the other person. Oh, they keep doing this to me. They looking at me like this. No, they're not. You
Mhm.
seeing that
Mhm.
in them, but
Yeah.
it's actually you. And
Yeah.
so that person is triggering that in you.
Correct.
Yeah. So then you go in, it's like, okay, well, if that person is triggering me, what is it that I need to work on? What is that triggering in me and what do I need to work on? Because that's how we come across people. Like I say, they can either see something in you or you can see something in somebody else or you on that same level. So you
Right.
have to evaluate yourself. And a lot of it is avoidance of self-evaluation while we keep having all these problems in these relationships that we deal with. And I ain't even talking about a husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, that type of relationship. This could be your mother,
Right.
your sister, your child,
Right.
any type of relationship. We always have to self-reflect on what
Mhm.
role we're playing in the relationship and why we have the issues that we have in different relationships that we have.
Yes. And I'm gonna piggyback off of that when you were saying, I love that you were talking about how, you know, it made me think of energy vampires and
Mhm,
not being able to understand and protect your energy, even if you're in a relationship. Because some people, if you're on two different paths, yes, y'all are gonna grow apart. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, and you may not even recognize that person, and you in a relationship with that person. Yes,
mhm,
but it's also to spin on that is that certain people gravitate to you for what you can do for them because they already see that you are making it through the darkness to the light, and they want your energy to try to see if they can feed off of that to get the same. And I'm not saying that we're not here to help others, yes, but in some aspects of things, people do that and don't turn within themselves. They
mhm.
want to turn into you. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mhm,
And that's the piece that, I would consider calling somebody an energy vampire that way. Is that they're vampiring off of your energy, the space that you're in, the journey that you're taking of healing. You know what I'm saying? That's why you
mhm,
should know to protect your energy before you even get into that relationship, you
mhm.
know? And so that has to do with give yourself time too, right?
Yeah.
Donate some time to you. I just spoke on this on my podcast this morning. Donate time to yourself. You don't
Mhm,
always you gotta be able to understand to give. I call it soul solitude, where you have to be able to give yourself time to be able to get to know you, to be able to meditate. And that does not include two people, even if you are married. Give him
mhm,
time to go do that. Give her time to go do that too. You
mhm.
know, that's how you get to know yourself. And hopefully they are doing it. And then, okay, maybe y'all can come together and do it. Now that's a real spiritual union,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But see, some people don't even think about that. They do so much things separate. They live in two separate lives, living in the same house. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the thing of it is you have to work on you regardless if you're in a relationship, if you ain't in a relationship, and hopefully you gravitate to a partner who's doing the same and you guys can come together and do it together. You know what I'm saying? Now that's where the ideal partnership is for me. And I
Mm-hmm.
haven't found nobody on that path yet. And until I meet somebody or somebody gravitates to me that can bring that energy, because that's what I'm on. So if that is the case and what they say, you attract what who you are, then I'm waiting on that person to gravitate who I am to. That's what, so it give us confirmation that you was right, sis. That ain't always true, right?
Yeah.
So, but just the main thing of the what you gravitate to is your heart open?
Mm-hmm.
Is that heart chakra open? Are you mindful enough to know what is right for you and what is wrong for you? That's what you should want to be, attract someone who's on that same mentality as you. Do they have an open heart? Do they have an open mind?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that's what I would like to have, someone that is gravitating to me, that understands that they have to protect their own energy as well. That's
Mm-hmm.
someone that they understand, listen, they ask me the same questions that I ask them. What is your birthday? What is going on in your bloodline? You know what I'm saying? What are the problems? What is your inner child been like? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
These are the questions that person. Now, when that man come to me and ask me those things, and I'm gonna definitely ask him that, okay? uh, I feel like that'll be my perfect match.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what I
Like
have to say.
when you say when people triggering you, like they coming for your light, because then they have, like, they drawn to, like, say, moth to a flame. The people want your light. They see something in you, and then once they get next to you and you keep triggering them and they don't change, then you become the problem. And it's not really you the problem. It's you highlighting their problems that they're not dealing with. So then
Exactly.
now you have the conflict between the two. So if you it's I and I feel like if the person may not be where you are, they may be um, behind you in their journey. But if they're willing to do the work and they're willing to put in the time to work on themselves, that doesn't necessarily matter. You don't have to be on the same level, but you have to be, like you said, open minded and willing to put in the work to do the things
Right.
that you need to do. Because, like you said, we can just teach each other, help each other,
Yeah,
and then learn from each other. So that person
that's
may
right.
be behind you, but you may be learning from something from them, just as they're learning something from you.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And how and see, that's right, because one thing about it, you may be, you know and that's a part of that, you having that space apart to come together. He
Mm-hmm.
may be a little further, like you said, he may be a little further than you in his spirituality, or she may be, you know what I'm saying, and then you learning about yourself. It's not that you might be too far behind, but you might be learning about your inner child. They already are learning or tapped into their higher self. Then when you come together, at least you got that energy of y'all working on this, separate. But then when you come together, then that person can help you and teach you, but you still on that same path. That energy is still pure. You still have an open heart. You still working on your heart chakra. You guys that have the solar plexus down, you know what I'm saying? You're confident and you know that you don't have to worry about anyone outside of your union. These are the things that you got to be mindful together about, whoever this is. Being in a spiritual union is completely different than being into just a relationship with someone, just to have sex with someone and just to live with someone, to have somebody support you. That's completely different. So see, people that is on a spiritual journey, that is really walking the walk, you have to choose someone who's going to be able to resonate with what you got going on, because what you got going on is about what you have to, walk in your life spiritually, not just, wanting to be with someone because of some, superficial things. No, the walk that I'm on in my life journey at this point, you have to accept who I am, and I hope that I can, do the same, because we're on the same journey. We're coming together as one, you know what I'm saying? And honoring the ancestors and the Most High is still gonna be the number one thing in both of our lives, period. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at in reference of choosing my next relationship. So until that happens, K-Swin will be okay alone, right? And when I say alone, I mean with my ancestors and with the Most High. And that's it. That's enough for me,
Yeah. And if you have that spiritual union, everybody is on the same page, there's some things you wouldn't even have to worry about dealing with other people. Like if you get somebody that's not doing that on that same journey, you may have to deal with some stuff that you wouldn't have to deal with if you was with somebody that's on the same journey, because they understand energy exchange.
Exactly.
They understand how they need to be disciplined. And it's not even about, because if you can't, because I look at it like this: if you can't control yourself and you can't discipline yourself, you're not going to be able to help me in any type of way. You can't protect me. You can't show. I'm not going to say you can't show me, but if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to help me take care of me. And I can't help take care of you if I can't take care of myself. And I'm talking about emotionally and mentally.
Correct. Because it starts with that. See, the people get mixed up in the superficial, but what about being able to protect me when I'm going through my darkness? What about being able to protect me, helping me, with mental stability? What about being able to do those things? It ain't always about money. It ain't always about, doing this and having that and being able to show people this. It ain't about that. And you have to learn that. That comes with wisdom. You know what I'm saying? That comes with understanding, because you understand that the power is within. And so that like you said, yes, it's good to find somebody who understands energy just as much as you do, because then they already gonna be disciplined. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If they realize that, they're gonna already be disciplined just like you. You see what I'm saying? But if they unable to control themselves, because see, you may be already tackling that for yourself, being able to control yourself. Having discipline is about that. And on a true spiritual journey, you have to have that discipline. That's one thing you have to learn. You have to, it's something that's not taught either, because discipline happens with just you, And so without having that and being able to recognize that in your partner, that could be a problem with someone who's really a spiritual being. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you just have to know all these things in reference of, are you really truly ready to be in a relationship, especially if you're a spiritual being, especially if you're really serious about your life. And it's a lifestyle. It's not a trend. See, some people are on trends, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if it's your lifestyle, it's a whole different aspect of things. I don't want you to be coming asking me about, why I got to be at my ancestor altar at 4 o'clock in the morning. Don't come messing with me. You see what I'm saying?
Why you over there talking to me and meditate? What you doing that for? I'm trying to watch this show.
Right. Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna bother you when it's time for you to go do your thing at the altar. If you got to go do something, you know what I'm saying? I'm not. Listen, if you want to go meditate 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm not gonna bother you, because I know that's a part of something. That's a part of you. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of what you tapping in. I'm gonna love that. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'm gonna come and join you. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, or you supposed to be doing your meditation. You ain't did it. Like, hey, baby, you supposed to be in there meditating. What's up with that?
Exactly. Remind me, brother. Yeah. Exactly.
You supposed to be in there at 5. It's 5:30. You ain't in there. Yeah. You said 5. So somebody gonna get on you and keep you focused too.
Exactly. Like,
Mm,
it's a moon phase coming up. Baby, go on and get our stuff together.
yeah,
We got to have these herbs together, this, and that. Write the list out for me.
yeah,
That's my love language right there. Yeah,
yeah. Go ahead and give me my crystals and herbs and stuff that I need. My
right.
oils.
Yeah. Gotta get me some salt. You know what I'm
I
saying? Go
already
get
have
me
it set up for me. Yeah, I like that.
buy me a gift like a singing bowl or something I can meditate on. That's my
Hmm.
love language. Don't come with no shoes and no purses because I done had that before you got here. You
Yeah, I
know what
don't
I'm
want
saying?
that. Hmm. I don't even buy that for myself. Yeah, I don't want you to
Right.
buy that.
Don't come with that mess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that's we laughing and stuff, but that's real. That's like what you truly, it's about your real lifestyle. And it's about that main person coming into your life that's gonna actually, better you
Mm,
and you can better them. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Spiritually, physically, and mentally. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And when you feel that you have accomplished getting to know yourself, then I feel that you will be able to help someone else to get to know the real you as well. And
Mm,
that's what I feel is the whole thing of, am I ready to be in a relationship? You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
So
So I'm gonna
yeah,
say this because everybody may not be doing a spiritual journey. So the
true.
message can be that no matter if you're doing one or not, you still need to work on yourself. But if you're
Hmm.
on a spiritual journey, that's more of a reason why you need to work on yourself before you get into a relationship because you have to be in one that's going to be in alignment with what you're trying to do. You want somebody that's going to help save your soul, elevate your soul, and not put you somewhere you don't want to be and have you dig out a hole for generations to come. So if you
Hmm.
want that, you want somebody that's going to help you ascend and you help them ascend in that
Hmm.
aspect. Or if you ain't even on that, I ain't gonna tell nobody what they should do. If you're not on that,
Yeah.
you just want a good relationship, somebody that's going to love you in the way that you need, not the way that you
Hmm.
want, but in the way that you need. And then you have to understand what it is about you so you can know what it is that you need. Because if you don't know what you need, you're just gonna be out there grabbing anything. So
Right.
on both sides, you need to work on yourself so that you can get what you need from the person and you can give them what they need. And then understand when you're not able to give that person, because you can love somebody and not be able to give that person what they need. And you need to learn how to step back and let that person go on and get
That's
what they
right.
need to get.
That's right. Now that is the truth. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Because I mean, yeah, you may not be on a spiritual journey, but that still does not defeat the fact that you have to still know you to be able to make a determining factor, regardless if you're spiritual or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're
Yeah.
not gonna know what's really for you if you're just gonna keep picking the same people, the same situation over and over, just like we said, for superficial things, the
Mm-hmm.
appearance, the clothes, the cars, all that stuff. When in actuality, that is not gonna make you happy at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. You just be
So
like a pretty trash bag sitting in the chair next to you.
yeah. Right. A pretty trash bag. That is
Every time you
hilarious.
dig in there, you coming out with some mess. Like so, yeah. You need to work on yourself to get that straight.
That's a
And
good
I want to say this:
analogy, sis.
All in the Cards has the shadow work class, the shadow work
Yeah.
deck, the shadow work videos on her channel, and on the Patreon she does the shadow work every what Wednesday?
Session. Yes,
Wednesday.
on Wednesday
Okay,
nights at
so
6:30 every
yeah.
Wednesday night. Yeah.
Hmm. And go on there to her channel, All in the Cards. She got the shadow work videos, a bunch of them on there. Whatever you want is in there.
Yeah. That's right, sis. Sure
Mhm.
do. Sure do. So you ain't got no excuse. If you can't, I got it where if you can't afford it, you got the free on YouTube. And if
Mhm.
you can afford it, I got the videos that's pretty cheap, you know what I'm saying? And then
Mhm.
I got the Patreon. The Patreon even cheaper than that. And the Patreon, you gonna get weekly shadow
Yeah.
work sessions. And sis tell you, people enjoy them shadow work sessions, you
Yeah, I
know.
love it. Mhm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, we get down because we know we want to be a better version of us. And that's
Mhm.
all we doing, family. That's it. So that's why we do these podcasts. That's why our channels are geared towards ascension. That's it. So,
Mhm. Yeah. So you got to work on, even when you do the videos and you do the class and you all this other stuff. It doesn't matter if you listen to the video and
that's right.
get the class if you're not going to do the work. And
That's
let me
right.
tell you right now, shadow work ain't going to be like you
Nope.
skipping through the part. It's not going to be no little easy little thing, because you got to really look inside, deep inside yourself, and dig on those wounds you thought you had them healed up, and put the Band-Aid over and let them heal up all the way. So it's going to be a lot of work that you're going to have to get done within yourself. Because I done cried plenty of days doing mine, boohoo,
Me
cried.
too.
But
Straight up.
once you get through it, you'll just like I did. I realized, like, dang, I'm so peaceful, like emotionally, mentally,
Yep.
more at peace. So
Peace.
once you get through it, get through the initial one, that's the hardest. But as you go through
Yes.
that and you get, some things established and understood, then it's easier for you to go to the next one, and you go to the next thing, because it's
Next
always
one.
going to be
That's
something
right.
that you're going to have to work through.
That's
So
right.
get the work. That's probably why people don't want to do it, because when they
That's
start
what it is.
seeing, oh, I don't want to do
Yep.
that. Put that back.
Yep.
Put that back in the garbage bag.
Exactly. They don't
Until
even
you
want
want
to
to do
face
it.
it. They don't want to tear that. They don't want to tear the
Mhm.
Band-Aid off. They don't want to
Yeah.
tear the Band-Aid off. But you got to tear the Band-Aid off and let it bleed out. Let it bleed out, because it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Just like Chancellor just said, it's gonna hurt. But you
Yeah.
gotta work through it though. It get easier over time. Some things don't get easier. Okay, I'm gonna keep it real. Okay,
Yeah.
some things you still gonna get triggered by, because you a human being. Okay, but you able to be mindful. See,
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
the difference. Being mindful is being aware. You see. And so
Mhm.
we talk about that all the time over there. And we talk about, and that's what I push. Be aware, because if you ain't aware, you can put yourself in chaos, and with chaos comes destruction, and you're done. When they got your mind, family, they got
Mhm.
you. You know
Yeah. And once you start doing that work, you ain't gonna want to be around that
exactly.
chaos, that mess, that drama. I can't stand it. Like, oh, I
Me
can't deal
either.
with that.
Me either. That's why I don't. That's why I stay isolated. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important that we put in that work to work on ourselves. Don't even let it be about nobody else. Let it be about you. And then once you let it be about you, you're not concerned about, oh, people gonna know that I had this issue. You ain't gonna even care about it, because you know that was part. Because some things we go through is because we have to go through certain things, because either it's passed down to us or that's part of our lesson, so we can ascend and go and do better.
That's
So
right.
don't be ashamed of it. I'm not saying you got to go, hey, I used to do this, that. You ain't got to go tell everybody you meet.
Exactly.
But you don't have that, because then you don't have nobody using that as a shaming tactic for you. Yeah, I did that, but now I'm.
Exactly. That's
Mm-hmm.
right. Confess it. See,
Yeah.
because the one thing about it is, like, I know now, you know what I'm saying? And, but confessing, it also helps. That helps lift things off of you.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you hiding things, that give other people opportunity to bring that to light, when in actuality, you could have put that out there yourself, and it'll release you. It's a bondage. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And so me being able to use my own experiences and my own and confess my own situations, that's also another way of repenting situations, going within and repenting and confessing. These are things that we should be doing, especially now,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So do this. You know what I'm saying, family? You'll feel a lot better. You like Tensha said, you'll feel relieved after you even cry it out for however long, but you still feel better.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah,
that.
we must confess, because it's not the illness. Right. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
Because
right.
even that stress and worry, you holding stuff inside,
Mm-hmm.
that can cause illnesses to manifest in your body, and we know now where that come from.
That's right.
Them curses that we be passing down to one another that we don't
Mm-hmm.
correct.
That's
We're not
right.
working on ourselves.
Not working on ourselves. We passing down inflictions
Mm-hmm.
after inflictions. And if you don't stop it, It will continue down your bloodline. And a lot of people don't even realize what they're doing. They don't even know they blood type. They definitely, some people don't even know they sun, moon, and rise. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of confusion. You have to really be mindful, family, on who you getting in relationships with. So it starts with you though. So work on you. That's the first step.
Yeah. So we at our hour. So basically that's what we wanted to talk about today is understanding yourself and how are you even ready to get in a relationship, or do you some you may not never need to be in a relationship for years to get you
That's
together.
right.
You
That's
know,
right.
and when you get in a relationship, make sure you get in the right type of relationship. But it all goes back to you doing your work on yourself to know what type and who you need to be lining up with and who you don't need to be lining up with. So you
Mhm.
won't have to go through some issues you wouldn't even have to deal with if you in the right relationship, in the right alignment. So
Mhm.
understanding that before you go popping into a relationship, or when you're dealing with your child and you and your mother and you, your father,
Mhm.
whoever the relationship is, your friends, making sure you with the right people in the right alignment to help you.
That's right.
So
That's
yeah.
right.
And don't forget, go over there and get that shadow work on All in the Cards.
Yeah,
Cheer.
do your shadow work, get that shadow work. The shadow work class, and it's a lot of tools in there. In the shadow work class, I give you prompts, things you can write down and ask yourself in your journal. If you don't want to journal, things you can meditate over. In the deck, you can pull a card a day for yourself or a week, however long it takes you to do your shadow work. Say you don't know where to start, well, that's a tool you can use. It's multiple things, family, right? I did all of this based off of experience, right? My shadow work ain't been easy, but I'm a better person, and I can say that now, and I can confess, and I can use myself as an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm working from the inside out. So now it's time for me to get to exercising.
Yeah. You did so.
Yeah, but get the inside right first, family. Get the
Mhm.
inside first. Okay. I love you all.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. All right. Y'all have a good day. And don't
Have a
forget to
wonderful
subscribe to
day.
the channels. Okay.
Yes. Subscribe, like, and subscribe to the channels. We love you all. Have a good day.
Bye bye.
All right. Bye, y'all.